like I'm Sonny Crockett. Play with me, that's a risk. Gold chain match the wrist. All white fit, Sonny Crockett from the Vice, yeah, it's pricey. I ain't tryna hear you whine while I'm dining. Telling yo, I ain't tryna hear you on my telly, yo. Play with me, I'm knocking like a stereo. Play with me, I'm knocking like a
Anybody for a bitch, I know all my haters on a first name basis. I'm the type to steal the flows from. Whoa, they the type to want my income. I think that I've had enough of jealousy instead of tanning. No, I'm never giving up. I'ma start this in the making. No, I'm never giving up. I'ma start this in the making.
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
This is awkward. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. Hit the wrong button there, guys. Showed a sneak peek of the chart. Oh, God. Good thing there was nothing sketchy up on the browser there. You never know what happens when you have Discord up on the live stream. That's for anybody. It's for any of the OGs out there that remember that stream. But what is going on, Mafia? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. We got an amazing show for you tonight as Bitcoin has gotten a little bit of a tumble to the downside, kind of. We kind of are just ranging around for the most part. It's really nothing too crazy. But as you guys know, we did look at more of the bearish scenario on Friday. If you guys have been watching the show for a while, you will know we've been kind of just focusing on those higher targets, as there were no reasons to really look for some kind of significant pull to the downside. We were just looking for those higher targets to get hit, and they just kept getting hit one after another. But on Friday's live stream and a couple of days before that, we started talking about how my sentiment has kind of shifted more towards a neutral bias rather than just shamelessly bullish. So I want to talk about that today. Obviously, we have seen Bitcoin come down. Obviously, we topped out at around 73K, 74K, and then we got that move all the way down over the weekend to about, below 65K. We broke that $65,000 level, and if you guys were looking at the live stream last week, you will know there were some key levels of support around that 65K zone that we were looking at. We are currently getting a bounce from there. Are we going to get a bigger move to the downside? There are some bearish things popping up on the chart, guys. We have some money flow coming out. Is this something we should be worried about, as well as some of the higher time frames also looking for a potential cool off? Could this be the start of a bigger move to the downside, or are the bulls just absolutely not going to accept that, and are they just going to come through rearing their horns, just blasting Bitcoin up to higher highs, as we've seen happen over the past few months? We're going to be breaking it all down on tonight's live stream, so shout out to the Candle Mafia. We got the clapper of all cheeks in the chat. What is going on, bro? I appreciate you for being here. We got Wick 589 in the chat. What's going on, bro? Thank you for tuning in. As always, an OG of the channel. We got Cryptic Sniper in the chat. What is going on, guys? Don't forget to show our mods some love. You know who they are. Crypto Billy, Crypto Anon, Chemistry Bro, D Petty Crypto, Tyler Jordan, Rather Crypto Stop. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. And we also got Alex in the chat. What is going on, bro? We got Crypto Chronic. What is going on? Bruno CF. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. We got Elionics in the chat. And shout out to Anna Maria. Thank you for the super chat. Says, hello, Mafia. Dropping a quick little super chat to say what's up to the fam. What is going on, Anna Maria? Thank you for tuning in. And last but not least, we got Chuck LeMaine in the chat. We got G saying smash that like button, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, because every 100 likes we get gives you guys an extra chance to win some free giveaways. And we will be giving away another. Wait, hang on. Shout out to Tony D. Tony D, did we didn't pull the second giveaway, did we? No. We are going to be giving away, I mean, hey, if we, no, we definitely didn't. We only gave away 0.02 Bitcoin last week. So guys, don't forget, we're going to be giving away another 0.02 Bitcoin this week on Friday's live stream. I'm going to show you how to get in there. If you're in the free Discord, go to the giveaway section. You should be able to see how to get into there pretty easily. But Tony D, if you could drop some quick notes on how to get into that giveaway, and then I'll show it on the stream. But if you guys want to win 0.02 Bitcoin, stick around, because we're going to show you how to get in there. Shout out to Golden, by the way. This is sponsored, well, not sponsored like legit, but Golden wanted to do this giveaway for the Mafia. So this is actually sponsored by Golden, but he just wanted to do something nice, but we're just the people that are running it for him. So shout out to Golden. Drop those golden emojis in the chat. If you know, you know. Shout out to Golden. But guys, without further ado, we got a whole lot to look at here on the charts. So let's not waste any more time. Not that giving away Bitcoin's a waste of time, but let's go ahead and break down. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. He says, join the free Discord, head to the giveaway channel, and I will show you guys in just a minute. Once we get a few more viewers, I'll show you exactly how to get up in that free giveaway. 0.02 Bitcoin. It's about it's over $1,000 in Bitcoin, but we'll see. If it pumps, it'll be worth more. If it dumps, obviously worth less. So let's go ahead and jump into the charts here, guys, and see what we got going on and try to predict Bitcoin's next move. Also, guys, shout out to anybody who was tuned into the live stream on Friday. Obviously, we were looking at the bearish signals here, and we did get the move down over the weekend, or, it wasn't really too crazy of something that we haven't seen, but we did get the move down. But this is really what I wanted to say here was if you take a look at Solana, as you guys know, where was Solana on Friday? I mean, we weren't too far off of it. So Friday we were kind of lingering around here at about $180 for Solana, looking for price to get sucked up towards that value area high at about $204. And bing bong, there is Solana sitting at that $200 level. This is crazy, right? Like, the value areas are simply the crystal ball into this market. It's just absolutely wild. If you watch this show for any amount of time, at any point, you will see how powerful these volume profiles are. Not only were we looking for a move from here to $200, but we have been looking at this value area high as a target for quite some time. Nice to see that finally play out in full. Absolutely unbelievable. But anyway, let's start off on Bitcoin here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and hide that TA, and I want to go ahead and I want to fly down to the higher time frames because I'm going to do the typical top-down analysis. We haven't really done this in a little while, but don't ignore this line here, guys. This is just an alert on Bitcoin. As we take a look here, let's pull up Market Cypher real quick, and let's do the top-down analysis. And also, shout out to TRD Farmer. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much. And he says, can I get a bing bong for the kids and a special birthday shout out to, shout out to Alex O Crypto. Wait, hang on. Alex O's birthday's today? Yo, shout out to Alex O. If I see him pop up in the chat, we got to sing happy birthday to him. But shout out to Alex O. Happy birthday, bro. You've been around here for quite some time, and I appreciate you always tuning in and dropping into chat. So happy birthday to you if you're out there. If not, if I see your name, I will sing happy birthday to you. So shout out to you, bro. Here's for the kids. Shout out to TRD Farmer. Kids, listen up. Frankie Candles here. Bing bong! Shout out to you guys. TRD Farmer, you're the man, dude. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Tell the kids I said what's up. And tell them, more importantly, bing bong. But here we go, guys. Let's take a look here real quick as we see Market Cypher B. You guys can see we are starting to print that weekly red dot. Now, this is something we've been looking at for quite some time. Now, this is not confirmed. Very important to realize this is not confirmed. This is only printing here. So, as we see this start to print, if this winds up confirming this, we can look back in hindsight and potentially be looking at that red dot as a clear signal of more downside to come. Now, if you guys look at the last red dot, did I say green dot? If you guys look at the last red dot that we had on, and actually, let me go ahead and pull up Bitcoin on the this chart here. Go ahead and remove the drawings. And yeah, you can actually, you know what? I am not going to, let me actually go ahead and just hide these, and I'll bring those back up later. But as you can see here on the weekly time frame, pulling up Market Cypher, if we take a look at that last red dot on the weekly, one thing I do want everyone to realize is it doesn't necessarily mean like the second this prints or confirms we're going to get an immediate move to the downside. You can see the red dot here that we were printing actually wound up giving us a green weekly candle. And then we got a red weekly candle, and we kind of just went sideways. We did wind up coming down just a little bit. From the bottom of that candle to the bottom of this wick, it was about a 5% drop. Now, this was obviously in the middle of an extremely bullish move, so that is to be expected off of the red dot on the weekly. In a big uptrend like that, you're not expecting it to give you a big move down. But we have smashed some pretty important levels of resistance here, guys. We looked at that bearish case on Friday, kind of talking about how the market has been generally super bullish, right? You guys know I've been mega bullish, basically, on this whole move up, right? Just saying, hey, looks like we can fill the volume gap. You guys know all those volume profiles that we wound up filling, right? We had this macro one down here. Once we broke above that, we were looking up to much higher prices, around 50 to 55K. It's just been calling for higher prices since then. But to be quite honest with you guys, we have come up to some pretty key levels. We've put in a new all-time high, and the fact that, as I've been bullish throughout all this price action, it seems that the rest of the market or retail has kind of caught up to that sentiment, right? You could tell in the beginning stages of these pumps, all the bears will come out and be like, yeah, have your fun. 8K still incoming, 12K still incoming. And then it's like, have your fun, guys. This is the last of your pump. And then I think at this point, a lot of the retail and a lot of even the bears are finally throwing in the towel, being like, All right, well, fine. I guess it's a bull market then. And now all the meme coins are going crazy. Retail is screaming up and to the right only, which makes me a little bit nervous, guys. It's every time we get something like this in the market where the meme coins are going crazy, everybody says their meme coin is the next Sheeb. I think the statistic on Solana is crazy. There's like a new meme coin being created on Solana. I don't want to butcher the statistic here, but there's like thousands of meme coins being created on Solana every day, and it's insane, right? So there is a level of euphoria here, which does make me a little bit concerned. Not that we're going to go into a massive bear market, but just a little bit concerned of just continuing to the upside, right? And this is why I covered the bearish scenarios on Friday's live stream, right? Because couple days before that, I kind of started shifting to more neutral. And then as things got even more bullish as far as community sentiment, started making me feel a little bit more bearish. And I was like, let's go over the bearish case. And we did that last stream on Friday. If you're interested, you could probably go check out that stream. It's not really invalidated or outdated as far as the levels we're looking to if we do come down. But now we have this weekly red dot, which could potentially indicate a potential cool-off incoming. 6-day red dot also looking to print. And then your 5-day red dot is also printing. And then your 4-day has a red dot confirmed. Again, you want to remember, money flow is still coming up here, at least on the 4-day. I mean, 5-day still coming up as well. 6-day and weekly are kind of starting to curve out here. So you are getting some mixed signals on the money flow on the higher time frames. And the money flow obviously indicates the longer-term trend, guys. So, just because we have a red dot on the weekly does not necessarily mean that we're going to, dump down like crazy, because money flow is still somewhat thick, and especially with it coming up locally here on the 4-day, could be still looked at as long-term bullish for a continuation of the trend to the upside. But remember, in a trend, there are higher highs. In an uptrend, there's higher highs, but there's also higher lows, right? So you got to put those higher lows in somewhere. So, we could potentially even get a bigger correction and still put in higher lows and continue up. So I want to be clear. I'm not like super bearish like we're going into we're going to dump down to nothing, but there are some things up here, not only within the community sentiment or like the crypto space sentiment, but also on the charts that could be indicating a pullback to come. And if we do get that pullback, it doesn't immediately turn us perma-bear, right? It just means that we could get a pullback. It's not until we start breaking the higher time frame bullish market structure where I would start to worry. So, if you come on over here to the weekly, you could even if we come down here to about 55K, you could still, maybe even lower, arguably, you could still keep that bullish market structure and continue to the upside, but it can't be up and to the right forever. But let's go ahead and see. I want to come on down to the daily time frame here. Obviously, the VWAP on the daily is starting to curve up as well. And I'm going to bring up the heat maps in just a second here. But the daily VWAP, really nothing to take away from here, to be quite honest, right? Like, we're curving up, but this could easily get rejected. It's a little bit too soon to tell. 16-hour green dot was kind of stepped on here. We almost printed it, came back down. Money flow coming up locally. And I really just want to come down here to the local price action real quick, right? Because these are the important things, right? Weekly red dot, 6-day also looking for the red dot, 5-day red dot printing. On top of that, we have the 4-hour money flow officially crossing over into the red. Right? This is not really a great sign, right? Like, this is binarily bearish, right? Like, this is a bearish money flow on the 4-hour here, right? So that is not arguable. This is definitely a bearish sign. The question is, are we going to get one of those fake outs, right? Are we going to get a fake out into the red before coming back into the green and taking the highs? Or are we officially going to see this crossover into the red, which would make us anticipate a continued trend to the downside? And I'll talk about those key levels of support that we're watching in just a minute, right? But 4-hour money flow crossing over into the red, definitely not the best look. So this is like one of those, and on top of that, you do have the bearish divergence, right? Confirmed here, higher highs, lower highs, money flow coming out. This is not good, right? This is oftentimes a sign of a local top, right? Either a local top or some kind of significant top to come in. Doesn't mean we're going to zero, but it could be, a potential mark of a local top before we cool off a little bit more, and then potentially we could come up and test those highs. So I will say there are reasons, not only on the chart, but also through the community sentiment that could be calling for lower prices, but that also obviously does not mean, as traders, that we can't look for moves up, as we could get local moves up before the bigger trend starts, etc. So let's break down this local price action. Now, obviously, guys, if we come on over to the main chart, we'll take a look at the 4-hour and zoom out a bit. you guys can see, this is the chart that we were looking at last week, and obviously we came up to our value area high. This is nice because it gives us context into what is going on here. As we deviated above the value area high, we put in those bearish divergences on the 4-hour with the money flow coming out. This was letting us know you could potentially look for a short position as you deviate above your value area high, and then once you get accepted back into your range, you would look for a move to your POC, and then eventually your value area low, which is where we were looking at our first key level of support, which is sitting at around $65,000. I'm actually going to get rid of this box, which is sitting at about $65,000, where we have not only our value area low of the range, but we also have this golden pocket. And on top of that, we actually do have a daily level, which I don't have marked out on this chart right now, so I will mark it out right now. Let's grab that horizontal ray. And then we do have this daily level here at 63,839. Let me go ahead and label that daily so we know. So actually, you could even pull this down to this level, right? But we were looking at this on Friday as our level of support, saying, hey, if we come down to that golden pocket value area low, we also have that daily underneath as support. But if we come down to that value area low specifically, we could potentially, what do we do here, right? We look for shorts at the highs, longs at the lows. And we dipped into that value area low golden pocket before looking, well, I took a long setup on this, right? I took a long position here over the weekend. I do not typically trade on the weekends, guys, but I did take a little scalp long here with the premium Discord yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday. Caught that nice little bounce to the upside, but I did treat this as a scalp, right? And I am fully out of that position. Made about 70% on this, closed it out in full. And as of right now, for anybody who's curious, right, at least at the moment, I am not in any trades right now, for the most part, right? I am still holding some of my longs from lower, but as far as like the scalp trades, the day trades, and the shorter term swing trades, I am basically out of most of my positions. Now, you guys will know, I mean, I would pull it up here, but I'm not logged in and the trades are closed. But the Matic long I was in is now closed. All of the trades that I showed on Friday are all now closed in profit. We could talk about those in just a minute, but as of right now, guys, like, where are we, right? This is like the context that I'm looking at the market in right now, right? We have this macro volume profile with some key levels between right here, right? This level does remain relevant because I will say, although I took a scalp here, I treated it as a scalp. You might be thinking to yourself, Frankie, if you trade the volume profiles, why were you not looking to take this long and ride it up to the value area high? Why would you close it at the POC in full? And the reason is, number one, I kind of just wanted to sleep at night, right? I wanted to take the win, and I just wanted to go to sleep. And number two, there are some very key levels down here. Let me get rid of this alert. But there are, bada boom, bada bing. So there are some key levels here that we front ran, right? We did not tap this daily. Kind of makes me a little bit suspicious. Oftentimes when you front run daily levels like this, you will come down and actually tap the levels. Another reason is that just the confirmations that I got here, this entry was based off of order flow as well as some local market cipher B confirmations, but they weren't that strong. So for that reason, the fact that we front ran this daily and the fact that I only got some of my confirmations, it was kind of letting me know, like, this isn't necessarily the sauciest trade ever, but I know it's very likely to get a bounce off this golden pocket retracement, so let me try to grab that bag anyway. So think about that. I'm potentially expecting to come lower, but I was still able to make 70% on this little long position, right? Like, beautiful, beautiful situation. Like, this is why I love being a trader. The opportunities are literally endless. It doesn't, you don't have to catch I always say this, you don't have to catch the next big move, right? Like, a lot of people feel like they miss the big moves, or if you do miss, like, if you missed the top here, you didn't short the top, you're like, oh my God, I'm a bad trader, I didn't catch the top, right? But that literally doesn't make a difference, right? Because it's all about the context of what you're looking at. You could find 70% here on the 4-hour. You can make 70% if you know what you're doing, right? You can make 70% on the 1 minute trading this little trend right here. And then when you zoom out to the 4-hour, that little trade, that 70% was made on this little tiny dot on the screen, right? So anyway, let's continue here, right? So took that long position, closed it in full, and the reason, again, the fact that we front ran the daily as well as some other key levels that we have in here, I'm not going to go over all of them, but we front ran some key levels within this box, which, again, didn't leave the whole opportunity on the table, but did close it in full, potentially anticipating another pull down to this blue box. Now, this is not guaranteed. I don't want anyone thinking that if we wind up coming down, like if we wind up coming up, they're like, oh my God, I thought we were supposed to go down. There's no guarantees we come back down to this level. But in my experience, when you front run a daily like this, and honestly, on top of that, Another reason is we have the 786 sitting down here closer to 62K. And we don't necessarily have to come and grab that 786. We could easily bounce off this value area. We could easily bounce off this golden pocket, especially with all the confluence you have in here. But to be quite honest, with the 4-hour money flow crossing into the red here, if this gives us a legitimate crossover, in my opinion, the most likely trajectory for price to follow here is a move to the value area low, a bounce off the golden pocket, but with the money flow indicating a downtrend to continue here, this was a likely lower high to be created, especially if it was a golden pocket, which it was, right? If you pull the golden pocket, this local golden pocket from the high to the low, let me go ahead and pull the golden pocket up here. You can see this golden pocket 786 is the area where you'd be looking for the lower high to come in. And again, a big reason for this is the money flow on the 4-hour coming into the red. So my thought process here is, hey, likely to bounce off the golden pocket, catch a little scalp, but be very cautious in this zone, because if this money flow is going to cross into the red and give us a lower high before giving us a bigger trend to the downside, I might want to lock in profit here, right? That's partially why I closed the trade here, on top of the other stuff, right? The front run level, etc. But with that being said, this money flow crossover, like, what are you looking for if money flow is coming out? You're anticipating a potential downtrend to begin, so you're going to expect any bounce to give you a lackluster move to the upside for a potential lower high and a continuation of the downtrend, where the next key level of support for me is going to be between the bottom of this golden pocket and this daily level at 63,839, right? And then looking for bullish confirmations here to potentially look for a bigger long position where maybe there, after we get that, we could get a visit of the value area high. And again, very possible that we just hold the POC here and go to the high. And I'm totally fine missing that long position, right? I'm not worried about it. I'll just find another trade. But with that being said, the money flow on the 4-hour and the fact that we have the 786 on our next key level at 62K here, right? We have a pretty confluent level down here. If that downtrend is going to continue, and this is a lower high, and we do continue the downtrend, we could look for a long potentially down here to maybe put in another lower high and reject that POC to come down to what? Your 786 retracement. And in my opinion, this is a pretty saucy level. And we've been talking about this recently, looking at the high volume nodes, right? So this is kind of the trajectory I would expect price to take. Now, let me be clear. I am not trying to call exactly what price will do, right? The chances that price literally just follows this line is like almost zero, right? And that's obviously a given if you've ever looked at the charts, right? This is obviously very speculative. But based off of all these things, we have to anticipate a potential move down. And whether we get it or not is a whole nother story, but that's kind of what I'd be looking at, right? So that's kind of the bearish case, right? If we put the lower high in here, we continue down, support level number 1, support level number 2. These are levels we've been looking at for a while, right? These are not new. But nice to see that the levels we've been looking at on the live stream do wind up giving you the moves, right? This is how you make money as a trader. So, that's kind of the bearish case, right? We continue down, money flow crosses over. I'm looking for longs here and longs here. Now, what happens if we come up first? Because I will be honest with you, there is potential. I was actually talking to Tony D about this a little bit earlier. There is potential to come up, right, for a couple of different reasons. Number one, we actually have seen a significant amount of liquidity building up here, right? Now, what does this mean? This simply means that the people who are shorting, not only this high, but also the people shorting on the way down here, their liquidation levels and stop losses are likely going to populate above these highs here, which is the current all-time high at about 74K, right? And we've been looking at this for a while. However, as time has gone on, let me zoom in a little bit to the 1-month chart. As time has gone on, there was not really that much significant liquidity up here. It was kind of like a faded yellow box. But now you're seeing that it's starting to turn like lime yellow or lime green, not lemon yellow, lime green, whatever. But you can start to see it is starting to turn green here, which is letting you know that there is much more liquidation levels sitting up here, assumed liquidation levels sitting up here. Sitting up here. And the reason this develops over time is because there's probably a lot of people, not only getting into longs on this move down or this move down or this move down. Oftentimes, their stop losses are going to be above the last significant swing high, which is right here. So we are starting to build up a significant amount of liquidity here. And what do we know about liquidity? It acts as a magnet, right? So you're looking for price to potentially get sucked up to this level. And to be quite honest, the candlestick chart technically would agree with this, right? Because you might be thinking to yourself, Frankie, I don't understand. When the volume profiles bring you from the value area low and then you flip the POC to support, you're looking for the value area high. Now, I just explained why I closed this trade, right? It's never going to be the easiest black and white answer, right? Like I always say this, people are always looking for, and even with the volume profiles, although we see these play out, if you watch the live streams, we see these play out all the time, like almost to the dollar, right? But that doesn't mean that this is the end-all be-all tool that's going to turn you into a profitable trader. There is so much more to it than that. So yes, based off of the volume profile, once you hit the low, you're expecting to go to the POC. If you hold the POC, you're expecting to go to the high. So on top of the liquidity sitting above these highs, right by our next key level of resistance, all the liquidity sitting up here does agree with a potential move back up to the high of the range, and then we may be able to deviate from the high of the range, go liquidate all those people, and then potentially set us up for another short position to ride back into the range and go to the low. So two reasons to come to the high. The liquidity sitting above, as well as the fact as, you know, if we hold above this POC, it's just likely to come to the value area high based off the volume profile theory. So for me, I am sitting on my hands waiting for lower to look for longs, or I am waiting to come up higher to potentially look for shorts. And again, like there are reasons to do both. So what do you do, right? What do you do when you're in that situation where it's like you're not at a low with bullish confirmations, you can't find a short above? What do? Hot take. Sit it out. Let price develop. This is a huge mistake that a lot of traders make. They're constantly searching for a trade. They're constantly, literally in my head, what they're doing is looking around for a place to throw their money away, right? You want to wait for the higher probability trades. And for me, I would have, if I was still holding my long when I entered down here, I would have felt comfortable being in this long, potentially waiting for the high. But because I treated it as a scalp and I closed it in full, I don't trade the middle of the range. I am only interested in trading the highest probability setups. And where are those? They are simply sitting at the high of the range and the low of the range. So I'm not looking for longs until we come lower, and I am not looking for shorts until we come higher. And because I closed this position in full, I'm not in position. And that's totally fine. Frankie Candles is not in a trade, right? And that's totally okay. If there's no trade, don't take it, right? Only take trades that are there. So that's how I'm handling this price action, guys. To be quite honest with you, you know, there's not really much more to cover here, right? Could you be forming some kind of a head and shoulders kind of deal here, right, with like a neckline? You know, potentially. The technical target for this, I did this before. Don't measure your technical targets like this, guys. But the technical target for this, for the most part, is the value area high, right? So can we go to the value area high? Absolutely. But we'll have to see. Again, the fact that we front ran this level, you know, we don't always, right? We do not always go from the low to the POC to the high. Although it happens like 9 out of 10 times, it doesn't always happen. And in my opinion, it's not impossible to fake out. You know, it's not impossible for the volume profile to not play out right now. And the reason is money flow, the front ran daily level here, and the fact that we have the 786 just a bit lower. So again, it is an if this then that statement. If we go up, we're looking for shorts up here. If we come down, I'm looking for new longs down here. And can I be honest, guys? It's been a while. And technically am still in a trade right now, or two trades really, two Bitcoin longs from much lower. I mean, you guys know about these trades. I've been holding these for a while, down at about 50K. I'm sorry, 40K is one of those trades I'm still holding. Actually, the entry was down here. And then there's another scalp long that I'm still holding as well. But other than that, I'm not really in a trade. And I'll be honest, guys. Feels kind of nice. Like I could kind of breathe, right? Like I always have all these trades open, you know, we have stop losses set. Like it's not really that stressful, but you know, if I enter a trade right here, I'm not gonna sweat it, but I'm gonna be thinking about it, right? It's just low probability in the middle of the range. So if I had to blindly gamble here, in my opinion, like you're probably better off just, as long as you're above that POC, you're probably better off betting. Not financial advice. I'm not saying, again, guys, I'm not in this trade, right? Because we're in the middle of the range. But if I was forced to trade this, I would probably be looking for maybe a long position, right? Because if you remain above the POC, again, you know, the value areas play out more often than they don't. It's a pretty decent bet. You get above this high volume node, you're probably going to go back up to the value area high. But I'm just not willing to take that bet right now. You know, we've been doing real well over the past couple of months. Yeah, I would just wait for the higher probability situation here. So as far as resistance, real quick before we move on to the altcoins, as far as resistance, right? You might be thinking, well, Frankie, if you do come up, where are you looking for the shorts? Well, I'm not going to say, you know, exactly where I'm looking for the short, but, you know, typically what you would want to do is pull a Fibonacci retracement level from the high all the way down to the low, where you could get your golden pocket 786 retracement. Particularly the 786 is very interesting in my opinion because this is a fresh naked point of control. And let me just double check that that is indeed a fresh weekly. Bada boom, it is. So we do have this freshly weekly naked point of freshly weekly naked point of control. Freshly actually just went out of business, if anybody knows what that is. But anyway, let's come back to the lower time frames. This 786 would kind of be a significant level to look at, in my opinion. Obviously, the golden pocket would be significant as well, because remember, if you're going to come up and put in a lower high, you're probably going to be looking at the golden pocket, 786, etc. But you could see we've already rejected this golden pocket, so I would probably be looking at more local levels. Like I'd probably be looking at this 786 potentially. But again, when in doubt, keep an eye on the volume profiles, guys. Like for the most part, really what I would look at here, if you do come back up, I'd be waiting for the value area high. Keeping in mind you have the weekly naked point of control, but the value area high would be kind of the next significant level I'd be looking for a reaction off of. Now, if you take the highs, remember we have that liquidity above into our next key level of resistance sitting between 76 and 75K. So if we come up, I think it's very likely to do something like this, right? Assuming we don't blast off to crazy new all-time highs, this would be a place I'd be looking for a short. I don't know if it's going to get accepted back into the range, but this would be kind of where I'm looking for my next short position. Because at that point, not only are you deviating above your volume profile, but you're hitting key levels of resistance as well. So there you go. That is what I'm going to be looking at to the upside. So there you go. There are warning signs, guys. There are warning signs on Market Cipher that we could potentially come down here. But now you guys have the key levels to look at. Remember, we are level-to-level traders, or at least I am a level-to-level trader. This works very well for me. So, again, it's crazy. Like, sometimes I read, anytime I'm online, any kind of trading community or, any video you watch or any chat that you're in, people get real bent out of shape out of missing moves. And I just, it's a waste of stress, right? Because it doesn't matter. Because one thing is for sure, you can't guess if it's going to go up or down, but one thing is for sure, guys, the asset is going to move, right? So that's all we need as traders. Like I said, I made more on this move than I've made on some legitimate 10% moves on actual price action. So it's all about knowing what to look for. All right, let's see. Shout out to Singularity. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you. Says, Frankie, please help. I'm going to leverage long on Unfi or Unfi. Can you please check it to see if I'll survive? Shout out to Singularity. Rob the Crypto Snob, we can drop Unfi or Unfi. I never know how to say that. We could drop that on the alt list and take a look at it for our boy. Let's see. Let's see. Shout out to Fabio. Says, then when you're used to it, 200x. Shout out to Fabio. Wild boy out there with the 200x. Thank you, Rob. And guys, with all that being said, let's take a look at Ethereum. And I do want to take a look at Atom. I see a lot of people asking for Atom. And then we'll also take a look at Solana as well. But if you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And Rob the Crypto Snob will count up the votes and let us know which ones we're talking to. We're going to look at. I don't know why I said talking to. But yeah, shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Drop those alts in the chat right now. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start off with Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. And here we are. I guess this is probably what we were looking at on the live stream on Friday, if I had to guess. And we are looking at these two key levels, right? And I guess, yeah, we were looking for a move down to that 786, right? Because if we're going to get a breakdown out of this range and we're going to get a retracement, where is that higher low, if this is going to be a sustainable higher low? Where is that higher low likely to come in at? It's likely to come in on that golden pocket or that 786 or somewhere in between, right? So that's, I assume, I don't know, someone can go back and fact check that stream. I'm sure that's what we were looking at here. And what happened, right? We wound up breaking down. We got below the range, retested the value area low as resistance, and then we got the breakdown. Tested that golden pocket, and we even got a wick almost down to that 786 before getting a little bit of a bounce. But now we are breaking down below that golden pocket, so this 786 has not been tapped yet, as you guys know. Just like that daily level on Bitcoin I was just talking about, oftentimes when you front run a fib level like this, there is a good shot that you're going to come down and actually tap it. So, right now, the next key level to the downside I would be looking at on Ethereum is going to be sitting right here at 33.96. And then, that's going to be kind of the next key level. But really, I will say this, if things get super alarming for Ethereum, or not super alarming, but if we really get a big move down or a bigger move down, one thing to realize here is, like, I know we're far away from this level. I don't want to cause panic out there and making people think that, like, I'm just calling for zero. But oh, wait, hang on. Shout out to Bilal. Thank you for that super chat, bro. I missed that. I don't know how I missed that. It says, what's up, my brother? Need some TA on INJ. Yes, we could take a look at INJ as well. Rob, if you could add that, because I will 100% forget. If you could add that, I'll love you forever. I already love you forever, but I'll love you for 2 evers. Shout out to you, bro. But anyway, if we get that bigger move down, one thing to realize here, guys, is the next higher time frame, significant level that we have is going to be this weekly naked point of control at about $3,000. Also, a somewhat of a psychological level there as well at about 3K even. So basically, what I'm looking down at, if we do see a big move down, is basically this volume profile here, right? Between about, at about, I would call it 3K to about 28.8. That is going to be kind of the key level, right? The weekly naked point of control sitting down there. And if I pull up the VRVP, or the VPVR as I like to say, you can see we do have a significant high volume node here, which makes sense because it's a weekly naked point of control. But some other levels to keep an eye on here, guys, to be quite honest with you. I would really be looking at the volume profile. Let's see. Yeah, so this is, I would be looking at the volume profiles here, right? So this level right here, this high volume node sitting at 3250 is going to be significant. You can see we kind of already tapped this and bounced off of it. I'm sure this is lining up with some kind of significant fib level. That 786 right here. So I'm not going to try to, like, search for the, we actually talked about this in the premium Discord. But I'm not going to look for, like, the golden pocket confluence necessarily here. But really what I'd be looking at here is just watching the VPVR, right? And, just looking for these high volume nodes to get some kind of reaction off of, right? And, I'm not going to mark out every single level, but when you have these high volume nodes and they are confluent with fib levels, daily levels, weekly levels, etc., it does make them somewhat reliable. So, I would mark out a level here at about, 2250. Somewhat of a less significant level down here at about 3100. For the most part, like 2250, 3000 are going to be the significant levels, right? And even here where we, again, have that 786, right here in confluent with the weekly naked point of control, sitting at 3396. So, simply put, hang on, where did? Oh no, the weekly naked point of control is down here. This is just the 786. That's important to realize. And then yeah, I don't really know if we're going to see this weekly naked. This is, like, kind of far away. But again, it seems far away until it's not, right? Until you start getting a panic dump. It never hurts to have these lower levels on your chart, because worst case scenario, you just don't use it, right? But the best case scenario is you're panicking, you don't know where price is going, and you're like, thank God I looked this far into the future. Like, thank God I was, like, thinking price could come down here because we somehow came down here, and now I know where the key level is. So right now, these are really the key levels on Ethereum, right? 786. I'm going to mark this out. Definitely key, right? Because we front ran it, and we actually, to be quite honest with you, we could potentially set up for, momentum is trending up here. So let's say we have price continuing down, right? And we put a nice low in here, and we're just continuing to have momentum continue up. Pretty likely area to look for a bounce, in my opinion, right? Assuming you have the confirmations. And then at that point, the question is, what is money flow doing on the medium hourly time frames, the higher hourly time frames? You can see on the 4 hour, we've already crossed over into the red. Your 6 hour is about to cross into the red, or it's starting to cross over into the red right now. Your 8 hour red dot is printing. Not the best sign. So again, I do think it's somewhat likely to see that 786 get hit. And then again, if things, you have this high volume node, let me label this so I know what I'm looking at. We'll just label that HVN. And then your weekly naked coming in here at about almost, 2950, almost 3K, right? So there you go. These are the two next significant levels I'd be looking at for bounces on Ethereum. Other than that, on Market Cipher, looking very, very similar to Bitcoin. I mean, these medium hourly time frames and even the higher hourly time frames have money flow coming out. So, this would indicate a downtrend potentially incoming, as long as you don't just it's really hard to say right now, guys. Like, this is an annoying market environment to be in, right? Beautiful rejection off that PLC. But when you start coming back down here, I mean, your 16-hour and your 12-hour green dots are looking to print. On top of that, your money flow is starting to kind of like flatten out here. It's stopped coming out. So if you are going to see the bullish case play out here and you're not going to come down, I mean, again, we're not far from the 786, but if you're not going to see this high volume node at 3,200 and we're just going to come up from either here or the 786, in my opinion, the 12 and the 16-hour green dots are going to tell us a lot. If this 12-hour and 16-hour green dot print and we don't really get a big move up, probably likely we come lower because at that point, money flow is likely not going to be continuing up and is probably going to start trending out. And you know, these medium hourly time frames, 4-hour, 5-hour, 6-hour, 8-hour money flow coming out could be an early warning sign that the 12 and the 16-hour are likely to do the same. Taking a look at the daily, VWAP below the zero line. So yeah, definitely playing this level by level, guys. We get a move down, potentially looking for longs down here at 3,300, break down further. Next two key levels that we just went over. And if we come up, your new key level of resistance, let me see here. Let me pull this full fib. Yeah, I mean, key level of resistance at this point, honestly, would be this value area low, golden pocket 786 zone, like right here. If we do come back up and money flow is not opening back up to the green, right? If we wind up coming back up here, right, maybe we come down to the 786, get a big bounce into this zone, but at that point, our 8-hour money flows in the red. Our 12 and our 16-hour money flows are coming out, looking to cross over into the red. At that point, if that is the case, maybe we also have a red dot on the daily there. If that's the case, going to be very likely to reject this zone, to put in a lower high and potentially come down to some lower prices, which you all now know could be as low as 32.50 or even 29.46. So yeah, not calling for doom and gloom. But again, you know, it's an if this then that statement, and that's kind of how I see things. That's how I see things playing out on Ethereum, potentially coming up here in the near future. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, says, pin my next comment. I got you, brother. Thank you very much. And it's a good thing. Perfect timing. I don't know, Rob, I do not know how you time that so perfectly, but we're about to look at our next altcoins. But let's see. Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. Dave Digital calling for bans out there. Shout out to Dave. Dave's ban opinion, guys, is not to be taken lightly. Dave's opinion holds holds weight here in the CandleMafia. That is for dang sure. Shout out to Dave Digital. I love you, bro. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always being here, bro. You are the man. And he's also got the best profile picture in the game, guys. Check it out. Shout out to Dave Digital. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. Yeah, we're so in sync. Shout out to Rob. Absolutely, bro. Literally could not have been more perfect timing. But let's see. Shout out to Coin Hoover. What is going on, bro? Said late to the show, just playing catch up. Essential to save me money, Frankie. Yo, shout out to Coin Hoover. I appreciate you for tuning in, bro. Let's see. Nostradamus. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend and Crimson Caravan Company. Yo, Nostradamus is hilarious. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. Adam is bleeding. We're gonna take a look at that in just a second. Yo, Nostradamus lives on. You guys are too funny. Jay Gilly said, changing my pick to have upward shot of my nostrils. Yo, you guys are wild. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Yo, shout out to Snapper. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. He said goat vibes in here. Shout out to you, bro. And once in a while, they do come by. The goats do come by. Sometimes I'll even hit you with a shout out to the Mafia. I saw a video, guys, the other day of goats making hilarious noises, and I should share the TikTok in the Discord because I'm not crazy. They really do make that noise. They're just like, they're crazy. Goats are weird, and that's why they're my favorite animal. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here and take a look at our first altcoin, which is going to be Unfi or Unfi. Never know what to call this one. But let's see here. Take a look at Binance Tether US. All right. I don't remember what we were looking at here last time. It either looks like we were looking for a long here and it played out, or someone was already in a long and we were breaking down their trade. I don't remember. But let's go ahead and see what we got going on. Okay, so, baby. All right, so you got a red dot on the 4-day. Same as, almost the same as Bitcoin. 5-day red dot looking to print. 6-day red dot looking to print. Weekly red dot printing. And is that a blood diamond? It is not, which is good news for anybody holding UNFI. UNFI, I don't know how to say it. I don't know what I would say there. But weekly red dot, right? So nothing like too alarming in my opinion. But, and guys, I really don't want to cover like too many. Yo, baby goats are so cute. Shout out to Dave Digital. That is definitely true. But yeah, it looks very similar, right? Like a lot of the alts look very similar to Bitcoin, right? 12-hour money flow coming out, but kind of flat with the VWAP coming up. So could there be another bounce left in this? Potentially. Pull up the regular candles again. You know, I don't know if this is going to be the low, but if it were the low, I would pull my fib like this, giving us a pretty significant level of resistance, specifically right here, right? Where your 786 value area high is sitting, and then your golden pocket's kind of in the middle of your PLC and value area high. So could look at this as kind of one big level of resistance. If you do get a bounce up on that 12-hour and you do get accepted back into this range, you could come up to your POC, golden pocket 786 value area high. This just basic zone here between 822 and 871. This would be if we are going to see money flow continue out and cross over into the red and indeed give us a move to the downside. What are we going to look for? A lackluster pump on that 12-hour green dot to come up and put our lower high in where at somewhere within that golden pocket 786 retracement, because we know that's the likely place for price to put that lower high in. So that's what I would be looking at locally right now. Again, if this candle dumps, you're going to have to move your fib, right? This fib will be invalidated, right? You got to bring it to the most current low. Would be nice if it comes down here, puts that golden pocket right on that POC. That would be beautiful, but it's not there yet. So you got to let the price develop. Other than that, 4-hour looking very similar to Bitcoin. I'm not really going to cover like Market Cipher 2 in full here, just because they all look very similar, right? Money flow crossing over into the red. Let's check the daily, right? Daily VWAP looking to curve up back to the upside, but too early to take anything from this. The one thing that would alarm me, not really. I won't even bring that up because it's not really confluent. But these are definitely the key levels I would be looking at on UNFI, right? So from the high to the low, you could see we did just get that 786 retracement. I mean, really no reason, in my opinion, to take a long here, right? Now, this thing could rip up to higher highs for all I know. But for me, there is no reason to take a long here. I mean, not even on the lower time frames, to be quite honest with you. So it doesn't mean you can't bounce. But, yeah, there's like no real – I mean, you got a couple of green dots down here, but you don't really have any significant reason to take a long here, in my opinion. So if you do continue lower, where should you be looking? Well, all right. I'm going to make a guess here. This rejection was the POC of this range, potentially. I'm like, that's speculative. Okay, and it was wrong. That's why we say speculative. But anyway, I'm just trying to see, like, trying to get grander context in here. Yeah, this would kind of be, this would be a significant level to watch. Value area low at 625. I would watch this level. Right, you come down, maybe you put a bullish confirmation in at the value area low, and then you could finally look for a long down here. But locally, this would be your next level of support, in my opinion, $6.25. So if you continue down, I'd be looking at that. But overall, money flow is coming out. Like even on the 10-hour, it's definitely coming out. So really not the best look, to be quite honest with you. So non-possible to bounce here, but you know I would be potentially looking for a downtrend to start here on the 8 through 16-hour because the money flow coming out. So those are the levels I'd be looking at. There you go. That's what I'm looking at on UNFI. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Billy Goat Tails. By the way, every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on X, Crypto Billy's Twitter Spaces. If you guys want to check those out, I highly, highly recommend it. And Billy Goat Tails says, wait, where'd they go? Where'd it go? It's gone. It's gone, guys. It's gone. We'll never know what they said. Oh, said Tony D and the mods are goat wranglers. Yes, absolutely. Have you ever seen me on a giveaway day with Tyler Durden doing the giveaways? Literally a goat wrangler. Shout out to Tyler Durden. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's take a look at, I'm going to start off on INJ. We'll knock out INJ real quick. Take a look at the Binance Tether US and, woo-hoo, baby. The TA plays out once again, guys. TA plays out once again. Now, I do believe This level of resistance was based on Fibonacci extension levels. Which levels? Is another thing here. So yeah, there you go, right? So it was these two fib levels, or these Fibonacci extension levels that we were looking at, between 54.56 and 51.50. Got to move right into that zone, got the rejection, and now what are we doing? Now we are simply sitting back within our volume profile, right? Like this is textbook stuff. You find the next target to the upside, you wait for the deviation above the range, you look for your short position, and then you look to potentially get into a trade or a short, hoping to get accepted back into the range and come back down to the low. This is the kind of backbone of the volume profile trades. And if we pull up the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator by LuxAlgo, shout out to LuxAlgo, pull that, and I go ahead and I change the settings to what I like to look at, which is to check Market Cipher B for the divergences, wicks, boom, boom, boom. Okay, come down to a lower time frame. Bada boom. Okay, so actually, what is this? The 1 hour? Let's go to the 4 hour. Bada boom. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, this is, so yeah, you come out, bearish divergences, sauce can prints. The idea here, right? You're not just shorting sauce cans, but the idea here is that you get accepted back into your range and go back down to the value area low. Same thing here. You get your sauce can, means you're getting bearish confirmations with potential money flow coming out. You get the sauce can. You're not taking the trade based off the sauce can. You're finding the confirmations, taking the trade, and then as that sauce can starts to print, 3 candles later, you'll see that sauce can pop up, letting you know, hey, this was likely a significant top, and you could potentially be looking to target the POC and the value area low of the next of the range, right? And we've already made it to the POC, right? Too late to short this, obviously. But simply put, what are we looking at, right? You're back in your volume profile. You've gotten back in. You've hit your POC. If you lose this decisively, you're simply going to be looking down to your value area low for the next target. So, how likely are you to get down there? Kind of hard to say, to be honest with you, right? Like your money flow on the 16 hours coming out, looking very similar on Market Cipher to everything else. Your 10-hour money flow is crossing into the red, 4-hour money flow in the red as well. You're not really getting any kind of confirmation to go long here, in my opinion, right? Like you're getting, it looks like you want to get stuck underneath here, potentially. VWAP rolling over on the 1 hour. So, yeah, for me, it's really a no trade. I would simply, unless I took a short here or a short here or a short here, I would not be looking for a trade. I would be waiting for lower for longs, or I would be waiting to come back up to test that value area high to look for a short. So as of right now, worst case scenario in the next day or so, if things get ugly, I would be looking down here to the value area low coming in at 33.82 for INJ. If you do not get that bearish case, and there is reason for this to play out, right? Again, money flow crossing into the red on a lot of these time frames. I'm not just randomly saying we're going to come down. There are things on the chart potentially pointing towards that, right? It's not like we're getting massive bullish signals down here and we're holding the POC. It's the opposite, right? We're not getting bullish signals and we're kind of getting stuck underneath this. So if we can't get back above the POC, I'd be looking down to 33.82. And to be quite honest, that's what I'd be looking at. I'm not really concerned. If we come lower, these are older levels that we've been looking at. Still relevant, right? Somewhat. Actually, not really. They're still basically relevant, right? It actually moves up slightly. And actually, this is much better now, right? This is actually a way saucier level. So this is what I'd look for. If you come down to your value area low and you don't get bullish confirmations at the low, I'd wait for a deviation into this golden pocket. And then this is kind of where I'd be looking for my long position, especially if we get a bunch of liquidations to occur right here. That's where I'd look for acceptance back into the range to go back up to the high. But yeah, for the most part, I'd be looking within the context of this volume profile. We're accepted below the high, so we're going to potentially look towards the low if we get stuck under the POC. If you break the range, looking down towards the golden pocket, and there you go. That's what I'm looking at. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. Bada boom, bada bing. V-Slim said short XRP. We can take a look at XRP in just a second. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look here. So that we've done Unify, INJ, Atom, Solana. Okay, let's take a look at Solana real quick because we could kind of run through Solana pretty quickly. If you guys have been watching the live stream, specifically if you saw the live stream on Friday, you will know I mean, I explained this in the beginning of the stream. We took a quick look at it. We were looking at Solana sitting here at about $180 something. I think we were, where's Friday? This is Saturday. So Friday we were kind of just hovering around this $185 level, saying, hey, very, very likely that we get sucked up to that value area high to bring in that $200 Solana. Very simply put, got a little pullback and then made a move up towards that magnetic level of the value area high. And remember, guys, this was not just based off the volume profile, right? It was very heavily based off the volume profile because if you watch the show, we've been looking for this on Solana for quite some time. But simply put, you hit your head on the value area low, hit your head on the low, get accepted above that POC. Now you're looking to fill the range up to the high. We talk about this every single day on the channel. So with that being said, not only were we expecting that to happen based off the volume profile theory, but on top of that, we hit this macro golden pocket retracement, so we knew once we flip that golden pocket, the next likely place for price to go is not only the value area high based off the volume profile, but also once you flip that golden pocket, you're looking for price to go for that 786, which was in perfect confluence with that value area high. We saw the same exact thing happen with Bitcoin and many, many other coins that we did this analysis on. Shout out to Thesis himself. What is going on, bro? I don't know if you've been in here, but we just looked at Unfi, bro, or Unfi. Don't know how you say it. I don't even really know how I say it. Shout out to Thesis. I know that's one of your faves. But he says, brother, can you please post some macro ranges on Big Time? Shout out to Thesis. Yes, I could definitely do that for you, bro. I got your back. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, scrub back if you want to know my thoughts on Unfi. It's not really that interesting, to be quite honest with you. But shout out to Thesis. Appreciate you for being here, bro. But let's continue on. What happened, right? We looked for that value area high. It comes in. Absolutely beautiful. Now, this is significant resistance now, right? Because not only is it the 786, but also the value area high. So even if we do come back up, you want to be careful here for a few different reasons, right? Again, 786 retracements, typically where you get the reaction from. And when you are looking at a 786 like this, which is the macro 786 from the bull market top all the way to the bear market low, obviously. When you're looking at these macro levels, it's going to be a high likelihood you get a reaction off this, right? Not guaranteeing it, but on top of that, we could take a look at the higher time frames. Technically, you have bear divs here. They're not the cleanest. Higher highs into the key level, lower highs on your momentum waves, giving you that open alligator mouth that we know as a bearish divergence, calling for that move to the downside. So, somewhat likely to get some kind of a pullback here, in my opinion, right? Daily VWAP also looking for a red dot to print here somewhat soon. Money flow still looks pretty healthy, in my opinion, right? This looks good for more upside in the long term, medium term, but short term, you want to be careful that you don't get some kind of a pullback here. I'm not looking to buy Solana at, these yearly highs right here. And then, even locally, you put in the bearish divergence on the 4-hour into your key level of resistance. Money flow technically coming out here, nothing really too serious, but could be a potential local top, right? And then if you're looking, if you should, you might be thinking to yourself, well, Frankie, what would I be shorting here? What would I be looking for to get into a trade? Well, very simply put, right? You get a move up, right? You guys know this is a no trade zone for me. I do not trade trends, right? I try to get into a position before the trend starts, and I just hold through the trend, right? Not that you can't trade on trend. Like, you could trade trends. That's very, very good. But you get the move up, and you get consolidation. We love this because now we have context, right? Because what can we do here? Simply, we can grab our volume profile, pull a range, right? Now look at this. Now you have beautiful confluence into what's going on here. Now, dang. Your POC and your value area high are the exact same level here. So, if I were looking for a short on Solana here, I would have probably been looking for a short here, probably would have been looking for a short here and here, right? But at this situation I'm in right now, I'm not in a short, right? So I'm not looking to short Solana right here, right? Now, you might be saying, well, Frankie, what if it loses the range and you come down? Then I miss that position, right? It's too risky for me to short at support, right? Like, this is short at support. You do not want to do that. Every time you short at support, not every time, but more often than not, you're going to wind up with a situation like that where you enter your short and then you get wrecked. So I would not short support here. However, what I would like to see is a move back up. If we I don't know if you're going to be lucky enough to get this, but if you get a move back up to your value area high POC, this would be a sound place to look for a short, right? Now, I don't know if you're going to be lucky enough to get back up there. So I would be looking maybe for more of a local. Now, I don't know where this candle is going to wind up dumping to, but let's say that the candle stops coming down right here, pull from your high to your low. Your simple high likelihood lower high, if you are going to get one to come in, is going to be sitting right here, right? So if you get back into your range, right, let's say, I mean, maybe you lose it here, right? Again, you could lose the range here and dump. But in that case, I'm not shorting that, right? I'm just watching price go down, and I'll catch a long position or wait for a retrace to look for a short. But if you do wind up coming back up, you could potentially look for shorts within the 786 golden pocket retracement. And if you get back above that, you're simply using your value area here as context. So if you deviate above your value area, you know you have the macro value area high right here that could act as resistance. So either you're going to do something like this, boop, right? Or you're going to do something like this, boop, right? And come back down. Now, that's if you continue down. Obviously, there is a scenario here where you come up, break above the value area high, and then continue up. But in my own humble opinion, which could be wrong, right? I openly say this, right? I could be wrong. Luckily, it's never really like, we're never really like that wrong. I mean, we are wrong sometimes, but you know, that's what I'd be looking for. Like, based off my rules for trading, like, I can't short this. I have to wait for a retracement. But now you know, if you do get that retracement, you have those high likelihood areas of rejection. And again, why I don't think it's likely to just come up and yeet up to new highs. Well, money flow, right? Like, simply put, 24-minute money flow crossing over into the red. Come on. There we go. With a fresh red dot on your 8-hour. As you guys know, this is sometimes when you have an 8-hour red dot printing with your 30-minute money flow crossing over into the red at the same time. That was the 24-minute, right? Which you can kind of lump these two time frames together. You know, this 24-minute money flow crossover that we're seeing here could be an early warning sign that your 30-minute money flow will eventually cross over into the red. And once that happens with the 8-hour red dot, this is sometimes where we see bigger moves happen. So because of this, right, and just based off general money flow, not only on the lower time frames, but with the 4-hour bear div, money flow technically coming out on the 4-hour, 2-hour money flow technically coming out as well. I would say it's probably more likely. And the fact that you just came up to major resistance, probably more likely to come up, retrace, and get a bigger move down, in my opinion, right? But if we break out, obviously that's a possible scenario. But again, based off the things I just looked at, I think it's probably more likely to catch some kind of a scalp short, right? So we come back up here, wouldn't expect it to go to 0, but, you know, maybe come back down to some local fib levels, right? Bada boom, maybe come back down here to 180, 178, something like that. But again, for me, no short trade. I mean, there you go, right? Like, I mean, obviously this is like too soon to tell if you would have gotten wrecked. But again, like a lot of people would have seen the breakdown of that level and been like, oh my God, short, short, short. It's probably why this green candle is here. It's all those early shorters getting wrecked. You do not want to short red candles, guys. Like, more often than not, I always tell people, if you want to be a successful trader, like almost every time, if you're new, if you just counter trade what you think is going to happen, you'll win more trades. Now, it's not that easy, but, you know, you have to understand that, like, this candle getting pushed up and coming back up, if it does get this retracement, likely what that is caused by is early shorters. People piling into their short positions here, putting all their liquidations and stop losses above, and then when the buyers start to push price up a little bit and the shorts get wrecked, that's what causes that quick move to the upside to potentially put that lower high in and come lower. So don't be early to the party. Well, you don't want to be late to the party either. But well, technically these are late shorts, right? The short was up here. These guys are late. But if you're looking at it in the context of a retracement, obviously, these are early shorts because you should have waited for the retracement and then got in on the lower high. So don't be the late shorts and the early shorts. You want to be the on-time shorts, so to say, right? So there you go. Don't be the shorts that get punished at support, right? Just wait for the retracement. Be patient. And also, be okay with missing a move, right? Like, just be okay with it. It's all right. Like, you're not going to catch every move. But that's what I'd be looking at here on Solana. But absolutely beautiful, guys. If this does not prove, like for the 1000th time, that the volume profiles are a force to be reckoned with, I don't know what will, right? Like, these are the crystal balls. This is how we predict price. This is how we have such a high hit rate, right? It has a lot to, it's not only the volume profiles, but it has a lot to do with the volume profiles. Shout out to Dark Crash in the chat saying, drink some water. Shout out to Dark Crash. Give me 1 second. I got the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. Here we go. Now, you guys might think to yourself, how come Frank hasn't been drinking Aztecian Cactus Moss Water? And the truth is, Mrs. Candles and Tony D made me stop. They were worried about me. They thought I was going to die. And they sent me videos about how bad Aztecian cactus moss water is for you. So I just switched to arguably just as bad of a Aztecian cactus moss water, which is basically black coffee, but probably more healthy than the artificial Aztecian cactus moss water. You know, I'm going to get like cans of water made with Aztecian cactus moss water labels, so I can just drink water on the stream and still have the Aztecian cactus moss water. But if you guys are wondering where that cactus moss water is gone, it's just Mrs. Candles and Tony D. Thank God. Great friends and an amazing girlfriend. We're worried about my health. Shout out to Tony D. Says, energy drinks are horrible for you. All of them. Yeah, Tony D was sending me some morbid videos. He's like, you want to be like that, bro? Keep drinking the Aztecian cactus moss water. You're going to be dead. Shout out to Tony D. Yeah, honestly, they kind of scared some sense into me. I'll be honest. Like, I want to live a long time. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have been great. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Dark Crash. Let me drink some of that water you're talking about. Oh, God. The most unthirst-quenching thing ever. But anyway, shout out to Dark Crash. Let's continue on. There's Solana. Let's check our next coin on the list. Let's take a look at Atom. Bada boom. Now, as you guys know, let me pull up Atom on Coinbase, actually, because I believe, let's come up to a higher time frame. Yeah, so as you guys know, we've been looking at Atom as one of those kind of late movers, right? A lot of these altcoins have already broken out of their bear market ranges and revisited their previous previous bull market value areas, right? Things like Doge, things like ICP, potentially. Shout out to Tony D. Said, fun fact, consuming energy drinks lowers P&L by 50%. Shout out to Tony D. Always running the statistics. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, you're just up all night, like, trying to, like, trade your way back to break even. I would be lying if I said I was never there. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this stuff happen on so many coins. I guess ICP, it is knocking on a previous value area low. But things like Solana, we've seen so many of these coins play out like this where, arguably the most obvious here that was set up in a very, very similar setup here was Dogecoin, right? Where you had the bear market range, breakout, revisit of the previous value area low. And then, guys, where did you get the rejection from? Right at the key level of resistance we were watching, which simply put is the value area low of the range. This isn't like some secret proprietary level that I don't share with anybody. We show you exactly how we find these levels. Now, I'm not saying I took this trade, but, you tune into these live streams, you're subscribed to the channel. There's so much free sauce on this channel that you can make money off of, if you're paying attention. Sometimes we even, kind of hint towards stuff, but never financial advice. I'm just some crazy guy on the internet that screams about candles. Very, very clear example here. Bear market range, breakout, value area low. And when you take a look at Atom, we're set up in a very, 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 very similar situation where you have your bear market range. If we wind up breaking out here, we could look for a move up to the value area low at 1962. So, let me get rid of this. Obviously, we are getting a little bit of a pullback as nothing will go up forever. The altcoins obviously just went on a pretty big run. But it's kind of nice here with Atom, right? Atom is a sound project, in my opinion, right? I'm bullish on Atom. It's a great project. I think interoperability is going to be a huge narrative going into this bull run. In my opinion, obviously, we are up pretty good from the bottom, right? 135% from the bottom. But this is nothing compared to what some of the other altcoins have seen. So, while we look at this, right, we could potentially just look at this volume profile as context, right? Like you simply have your value area high, your POC, and then your value area low, right? So if we continue down here, we have the POC as key support sitting here at 1122. Right, value area low sitting at 850. I don't know if you're going to get all the way back down to the value area low, but just remember here, guys, if this is not going to dump, right, if Bitcoin's not just going to absolutely nuke from here, and the altcoins, I mean, even if it does, or it just kind of consolidates sideways, this is where you're going to start seeing the altcoins go crazy. Now, again, in my opinion, right, I'll just say it, right, I am buying Atom on this pullback, right? So take that for what it's worth. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed to come up, right? Like maybe I buy it here and it nukes to the value area low, and then I buy more and maybe it makes a new bear market low. Who knows? But I am buying Atom on the way down here, right? Because again, like how many coins have we seen? Even Polkadot was in a similar setup, but it's already broken out of its range. Starting to pull back a little bit, but it's already broken out of its range. If we see Atom do something similar, this is, yeah, I mean, this POC would be key support. If you pick this up, I mean, think about it. If you're expecting, right, and I'm not saying it's, plausible or not. I think it's plausible, but, who am I? I'm just some crazy guy. But, if you're expecting this to break out to the value area low to about $19, potentially buying the dip here might be a good idea for me, not for you. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is my thought process is if I pick it up all here and then we break out and we go to the value area low, and dare I say, I know, it's not like it's already played out on many of the other altcoins. If we get above that value area low, we could get a move to the POC and value area high. At that point, if you're, getting an average buy-in around these lows here, you could be on your way to a quick little 215% move. So again, this is a higher market cap coin. This isn't going to be the 100x you're looking for. There are lower cap coins that I'm looking at setups on, like this, that could give you, a 7 to 10x to these levels. But for Atom, I'm not really too worried, right? Like in my opinion, I'm kind of happy that Atom is pulling back here because I want to pick up more of it. And I think it's very unlikely for this to go to zero. I believe in this project, so I'm happy to pick this up. So there you go. With that being said, key support, right? As long as you hold above 1122, I don't really see too big of a breakdown incoming here. Once you lose the POC, then obviously it gets a little more sketchy. You can look down towards 854. But again, just keeping it within the simple context of the volume profile. And yeah, I mean, quite honestly, I wouldn't even really be pulling the local profiles. I would just look at this range. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at. Daily VWAP coming back up. So that is not a horrible sign. And then the medium hourly time frame's like still not looking that great, right? 8-hour red dot confirmed. 30-minute money flow already in the red. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking at for Atom, to be quite honest with you guys. Just longer term plays on some of these higher cap altcoins. So there you go. Other than that, market cipher looking very similar to everything else. Like money flow on the 8-hour coming out doesn't look that good. But again, keeping an eye on the key levels over the indicators right now. Just because, with where we're at in the market, we could get false signals. So 1122 is your key level on Atom. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and continue on here. XRP pumping. Shout out to The Godfather. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's see. All right, yeah, okay, XRP pumping. Let's see. Daily green dot looking to print. I mean, nothing really too exciting here. I mean, it is, you go down to a lower time frame. Actually, that's somewhat significant. 8%. Yeah, no, okay, no, I take that back. This is yeah, okay. She is pamping. She's pamping, baby. Let's go. But let's take a look here. Honestly, we might have the opposite setup on XRP that we do than we have on everything else. 24-minute money flow crossing over into the green. 30-minute money flow looking to cross over into the green somewhat soon. Do we have an 8-hour green dot printing? Oh, baby, we do. We do. Now, I don't want to get everybody super excited here, like for a massive pump, but if we are going to get a bigger move up on XRP here, what I would be looking at is a 30-minute money flow crossover into the green. Simply put, this money flow crosses over into the green, and again, could it get messy first? Potentially. Excuse me. But yeah, like this VWAP is kind of overextended, right? If it comes back down, maybe you get a cool off. But in my opinion, how much more time do we have on this 8-hour green dot? Only an hour. Yeah, you might not get that setup, to be honest with you. But you could look for this setup as well. 12 and 16-hour green dots printing. So let's look at the 45-minute money flow about to cross into the green. Yeah, this is what I'd look for. 45-minute and 1-hour money flow crossovers into the green may be able to give you a bigger move to the upside here. May start the bigger move. Remember that. 45-minute, 1-hour money flow crossover into the green, if we're going to continue to pump, could be the thing that starts the bigger move. Now, this is oftentimes, guys, where we look back in hindsight. Now, yeah, it's like so hard because I don't want anyone just like trading this because you're not supposed to trade this. But trading aside, there's many times where we look at this stuff one night and then the next day, not every time, but oftentimes the next day we will go back and be like, guys, what were we looking at on XRP? What were we looking at on Bitcoin? Whatever. We were looking for that 45-minute money flow crossover to potentially start the bigger move up based off that higher time frame green dot, lower time frame money flow crossover strategy. And it does play out a lot, right? Not guaranteed, but it does play out a lot. So just remember that 45-minute, 1-hour money flow into the green could start to move. Now, we don't know if that's going to happen. We could just nuke down from here. But, I mean, we're in the same situation that we have been in on XRP forever, right? And simply put, right, this is from Friday's live stream, we were talking about how we are starting to interact with our previous value area low, which is kind of nice because, again, I won't even redraw the lines. If we get above this level and we finally hold it as support, that's where you're going to be looking for the bigger move up to about 83 cents. Flip that POC at 83 cents to support. You have these two, I believe these are naked points of control, sitting between $1.01 and $1.09. That's likely to give you some resistance, but eventually you expect that value area high to come in. So, and again, like we broke back below the value area low. Now we're trying to fight to get back above it. Now, looking at the weekly, to be honest, from a money flow standpoint, it looks pretty good on the higher time frames, right? Money flow kind of coming up on the weekly. 5-day crossover recently coming up. 4-day money flow actually doesn't look good at all. 4-hour red dot, money flow crossing over into the red. So it doesn't mean that you can't pump here. Like I said, I am paying more attention to the key levels, the volume profiles, and price action in general over the indicators right now. Not because they're wrong or unreliable, just because when you're in this particular market environment, fake outs are likely on any indicator, right? So I am paying very, very close attention to these levels. So with that being said, just because Market Cipher, I mean, let's be real here. Money flow like rarely lies, right? That's why we look at Market Cipher so much. It's like unbelievably reliable. But, this red dot on the 3-day, this red dot on the 4-day with money flow crossing over into the red, like starting to get mixed signals, right? We came into the green, into the red, into the green, into the red, right? Like even from back here, green, red. And what have we done? We just kind of bing bong back and forth. So we could be like, oh my God, it's crossing into the red, and then we just bing right back into the green and we come up higher. So like I'm just not putting too much weight on the indicators right this minute, right? So again, really what I want to see here is higher time frame candle closes above this level. I'm talking 4-hour candle closes, right? Like many 4-hour candle closes or daily candle closes would really kind of bring it home. But even those, right? Even those do not guarantee that we hold above that level, right? You can see we closed 3 daily candles up here. We still lost the level. And then we closed a bunch over here and we still lost the level. So, but with that being said, it is kind of nice to see that we are finally fighting this level. So flip this to support, going to be looking much higher for XRP. And you never know. I mean, you do actually have some, you got the 4-hour bull div here. I mean, not impossible, right? You have the 4-hour bull div. Lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. Money flow kind of flat. I'd like to see that money flow come up. But really, we got to get those candle closes above here to look for higher. Now, there is another profile that we can look at technically. And you could kind of just look at this as a local profile, right? So again, you can also look at this value area high or the breakout of this value area high as a signal to look for the macro POC. So you could just use this for additional context, right? From the high to the low to the high. Back to the low, back to the high. So, shout out to Crypto Billy, said Alex O is here. Shout out to Alex O. I heard it was your birthday. Hang on. Shout out to Alex O Crypto. Hang on. Bear with me. We're not doing 20s for this one. Shout out to Alex O. Here we go. Alex, I'm going to embarrass myself on the internet for you, my friend. Shout out to Alex. It's worth it for Alex O. He's been here since forever. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alex. Happy birthday to you. Bing bong. Shout out to Alex O. That all went off camera. I almost put a hole in the wall with that. It was way too tightly wound. Ooh, Mrs. Candle's going to kill me because she likes to. All right, here we go. Bing bong. Shout out to Alex O Crypto. Happy birthday, bro. There we go. That was much better. Shout out to you, bro. I wish I should get a happy birthday song on this soundboard. Shout out to Alex O. Happy birthday, bro. Thank you for always being here. And hopefully you're having an amazing day. Alex, get on. Yo, Tony D said, boo, get off the stage. Alex, don't spend too much time looking at the charts if it's your birthday, bro. If this is your actual birthday, go have a good time, bro. We love you. He said, God bless you and the Mafia. Appreciate you, Frankie, my familia. Shout out to Alex O Crypto, bro. Thank you so much for being here, and happy birthday. Go have fun. Go eat cake. I don't know. Go do what you do on your birthday. I do weird stuff on my birthday. I just, that'll be for another stream. Anyway, shout out to Alex. Thank you for always being here, bro, and happy birthday to you. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do it again. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for all the support, Tony. I appreciate it. Just cheering on your boy. Shout out to Tony. He said, happy birthday trap remix. Should I drop a stanky leg for Alex's birthday? Let's go. You guys going to catch me stanky legging. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Maybe Alex's birthday will pamp Bitcoin. But let's continue on here as my chair sinks down. So for XRP, that's what I'd be looking at, right? Your local value area high sitting at 65 cents, your POC sitting at 62 cents, and then your value area low at 58. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at for XRP. This chair's killing me. So you have your macro value area, which we've gone over a million times, and then your local value area just for added context, right? So if you're looking for a long on XRP, I will say, arguably, I'll actually pull this range a little closer. Arguably, this could have been, right? If I were trading the volume profile on XRP every day, this would have been an absolute long entry for me to ride this at least up to the value area high at 66 cents. And then if you break out and come higher, this value area low with that bull div on the 4-hour could have been the potentially like the long opportunity of a lifetime. But again, it's not like everything is pointing to like astronomical prices for XRP right now. Like I said, the higher time frames do still have some bearish signals. So again, playing it level by level. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. Okay, so we got Unify, Atom, Sol, INJ, ADA, and Link. Let's take a quick look here. ADA, or ADA, as some people say. Like, we can't forget the ADA people. You know what I'm saying? And here we are, right? So this is obviously the chart we've been looking at. This is an old. Hang on. There we go. Let's look at this one. I believe this is the current chart. So value area high. Let me readjust this real quick. Bada boom. Let's pull value area low down here. So yeah, this is the 4-hour. So simply put, right, I'm looking at this as a macro value area. Take that off. And we got the breakout, right? We got a breakout of the value area. We actually front ran, I believe this is the macro golden pocket. It is a macro, not the full macro. But yeah, key level up here. This fib never got hit, which is interesting. Is this our current? Let me see. So hard to remember exactly what I could usually tell by the fibs. Yeah, so this is, right, because it's from the current low to the current high, or the most significant swing low, right, or locally to the current high. So I know this is a current fib, because if it was an old fib, this fib would probably be like on one of these highs, right? But anyway, so this is, let's lock that in right there. So simply put, got a nice bounce off our blue box here. Golden pocket really didn't give us much there. Let me pull that again. Hang on. From the low all the way up to the high. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Got a nice bounce off this blue box, which is so hard to remember. Do we have any other hidden levels here is the question. No? Okay. But simply put here, guys, we did not really get a reaction off the golden pocket. We're not losing the golden pocket. So key level to watch here, like simply, is going to be, in my opinion, I'm going to move this a little bit from the value area high, the 786 value area high. Like, bada boom. Yeah. So this value area high, 786, is, in my opinion, likely to get hit here, probably somewhat soon. And then kind of to add context here, you could look at this volume profile. Change it to neutral, and we'll go value area high, POC, value area low. So yeah, if we lose, if we wind up coming back down and we do not get a bounce off this value area high 786, which is, in my opinion, like a valid place to look for a bounce. But if we do not get that, you're just simply looking for acceptance back below this value area high, looking to go to the POC and then the value area low, which in my opinion would be a safe place to look for longs once again. Let's take a look at the higher time frames. 10-hour money flow coming out. 8-hour red dot printing. Yeah, I mean, got a little VWAP flip here. Look at that VWAP flip. Little red dot, instant green dot. But let's check that 30-minute money flow is already in the red. 12-hour. Looking for a green dot, 16-hour looking for a green dot as well. Yeah, some mixed signals here, right? Daily VWAP rolling back up. If you do get another push down, I'd look for the value area high, and then you have the context below if you keep dumping. And then if, and that is a big if, right? Like, If all this money flow is going to come into a bigger red wave and we're going to start a bigger downtrend, which I wouldn't necessarily expect, at least as of right now, but if that is going to be the case, key levels to the upside, resistance levels, right? If you're looking for a short on the way back up, if that money flow crossover here on the 6 hour, if that 8 hour crosses over and this is going to be a bigger downtrend, what are we looking for? We're looking for a lackluster pump, right, to put in lower highs to continue the trend to the downside, right? We talk about this all the time. So you could look within the context of this volume profile, which has your value area high at 77 cents, your POC at 73, and your value area low at 71. So if you pull your fib here, let's see if we can get some confluence from the high to the low. Let's see. So your golden pocket POC is somewhat confluent. This is not horrible looking. So if you do come back up, I would be very, very cautious at these two resistance zones, right? So if we do come back up, be cautious of a rejection, higher, did I say high or low? Lower high at the golden pocket POC. And then if we continue up, you could also look for that lower high at the 786 value area high. And again, the reason I would not be looking for acceptance into the range, go up to the value area high and potentially break out is because of money flow. Money flow indicates the longer term trend. So there you go. So let's go ahead and continue on here. And Link. Let's go ahead and take a look at Link. Bada boom, bada bing. Take a look at the Coinbase chart, and here we are, right? So we have a lot of levels here, right? We looked for that daily MPOC. This is a level that we were calling for so long, saying $22 link, $22 link, naked daily point of control, still the macro target. Came out, took that level out, and then got the big correction, right? We flew through this local volume profile. I believe this is what we were looking at on Friday, right, saying, hey, we could look for longs potentially as we deviate if you got confirmations. If we bearishly retest and lose the range, you're going to be looking down to your next key level, which is sitting right here, where we did have a daily and weekly naked point of control. They're now both tapped. You also had a time point of control, and I don't know exactly what this level is, but it was probably significant, right? And again, this is all within the context of the larger profile. Value area high. Just make sure I know where that POC is. Yeah. Value area high, POC, value area low. That is the macro range. But when you zoom into the local price action, you're looking at something like the 1 hour. Those levels are kind of hard to look at, right? So you look at the local ranges, right? If your local range here, these levels were respected, then you lose the range. Like you could even see, like you break down bearish retest, bearish retest, bearish retest, bearish retest, boom, you lose the range. And we did get a pretty nice bounce off of, yeah, I mean, you have bullish divergences here on the 1 hour, lower lows, higher lows, money flow starts to come up. This is similar to what I was looking at to catch my scalp long position yesterday on Bitcoin that we took in the premium Discord. Similar confirmations. I was also looking at order flow, but very similar confirmation down here at a key level. You slip the key level, you put in those bull divs on the 1 hour with the money flow coming up. And again, you get that bounce up. You almost hit that previous value area low. You just about front run it. But as of right now, like, you know, what does it all mean? What does it all mean, right? Let me see if I could just extend this real quick. Yeah. So what does this all mean? Simply put, guys, if we lose this level, like this is kind of the key level. If Link continues down, really, I'm not worried about this until we hit this value area low, right? If we start coming down to this value area low and we start losing it and we are not getting, now we lose it, it's not instant dump, right? Because you could come down here and put in bullish confirmations as you are deviated outside of the range. This would be considered an undervalued asset. So you would be buying, aka looking for longs, betting that price will come back up, flip the value area low to support, and then continue up through the macro range, right? You're at the low of the range, you deviate, you look for the long, flip the value area low to support, and you're looking for a bigger move up. But again, you know, obviously there's many intermediary levels within that grander context. So keep that in mind. But with that being said, this is your key level of support between $17 and $16.71. If you hold this level or temporarily slip it with bullish confirmations, we're okay. If you wind up breaking down below this and you cannot get back above, this is where you're looking for a much bigger move down on Link. So keep an eye out there. We're still pretty safe. This is your key level of support, though. So I'm not panicking if we lose this level. But this level, I'm going to be paying a little bit better attention. And then remember, you know, if you do break that level, you have this very, very clean and clear value area below that you can then look for use for context, right? We'll just give it all away here. So you break down below. If you're not going to bounce off these levels, you know, you could wind up falling through the range, but then you can use this as your context. Shout out to Mrs. Candles in the chat. You look like you just woke up from a nap. Come on over here. Oh. All right, let's let's see the hand here. Let's see the hand. Ooh. Oh, Oh, it smells like, let me see. Let me get another whiff of that. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Sometimes she limits me on the hand sniffs. But yeah, it smells like, I don't know. It smells like coconut. I like that. All right. Let's go ahead and, let's see. Oh, shout out to Crypto Billy. Said, Frankie, you missed super chats. I will try to get back to those in just a minute. Shout out to Crypto Billy. But let's see. Okay. Let's see here. Did ARB nuke yet? Aren't they releasing billions of tokens? Maybe they will. Let's take a look. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Take a look at ARB. Bada boom, bada bing. Well, it did come down. I wasn't paying too much attention to ARB, to be honest with you, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how significant this is, but I will say, if you do continue down, I mean, you're probably hitting maybe this golden pocket. Very close to hitting that golden pocket. Sitting at $1.55. 786 hitting at about $1.32. So these would be kind of the next two retracement levels that I would be watching. Other than that, VWAP coming up on your 16-hour, VWAP on the day. This all looks the same as Bitcoin, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, quick and dirty on ARB. But yeah, this would be the next two key levels I would be looking at. All right, let's see. Talk to the hand. Yeah. Quick fun fact, guys. A sniff of Mrs. Candle's hand can increase your P&L by up to 32%. So we might start selling Mrs. Candle's hand air fresheners for your car. So you have a little hand hanging in your mirror, which, by the way, you can get a ticket for in a lot of states. But anyway, let's see. BTC is having a move. Let's take a quick look. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, still kind of bing-bonging around here. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. Like I said, we hold above this POC at about 67,361. Could see that move up back to the high, whereas the next area where I'd be looking for a potential short position if we don't break out. And then again, if we do wind up coming back down, you guys know the next key levels between, about 65K all the way down here to that 786. That's 62,274. But we'll have to see what happens. A lot of mixed signals out there, guys. So make sure you're using your stop losses. Use good risk management, guys, because remember, you can't get liquidated if you have a stop loss, unless your stop loss doesn't get triggered, and then sometimes it can get dangerous if it gets really volatile. But anyway, for the most part, if you just set your stop loss, you can control your losses. So with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Apparently, I missed some super chats. Let's go ahead and pull them up real quick. Oh, my God, there's so many of them. Let's see. Happy birthday. Okay, we read that. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of hard. So, unfortunately, guys, we can't look. There's a lot of super chatted altcoins. We can't look at every single coin. If we can't look at them on one stream, we always try to look at them on the next stream. But we oftentimes can't look at every single super chatted coin. So, shout out to Will asked for SLERF. So yeah, we could try to take a look at that on the next live stream, but we are running out of time today. Let's see, macro analysis, and then let's see. Tape Dental said, can we have Alex O on as a guest for Frankie Candles? Maybe one day. We actually haven't done a lot of collabs recently. We got a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors here, guys, at Frankie Candles. So we're just no, well, on camera we're not, but off camera we're head down, working, getting some really exciting things ready for you guys. And by the way, real quick, let me actually just pull this up real quick for you guys. On the in the Discord, if you guys come to the free, if you guys want to win 0.02 Bitcoin, shout out to Golden. I don't think he's in here today, but shout out to Golden. If you guys come on over to the Discord Mafia community, go to the giveaway section. You guys can simply come on in here. You don't have to do anything other than click this participate button. I mean, react for fun, obviously. But just come in here and click that participate button so you can get in to win a chance to win 0.02 Bitcoin. Over $1,000 in Bitcoin. We gave 0.20. We gave 0.02 away last week. We're giving Golden is giving away 0.02 this week. So get in that free Discord. Click that participate button for a chance to win your free 0.02 Bitcoin. And shout out to Salty Biscuit. AKA Salty Bitcoin, for winning that 0.02 last week. So with all that being said, guys, pray for Bitcoin. Hopefully this is not the start of a bigger breakdown, but like I said, there are some things on the charts potentially looking for a pullback. But then again, we do have that liquidity sitting above the highs between 74 to 75K. So still kind of more neutral, guys. Trading the ranges, trading the levels, and just sitting on my hands and waiting for those key levels to get hit so I can analyze them and figure out if there's a good trade entry. So with all that being said, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. Shout out to the new... This isn't Starbucks, guys. This is just Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. That's all I got. Happy birthday, Alex O. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was. The name disappeared. Well, it didn't disappear. I just lost it in the middle of chat. But somebody said, I'm staying for the VIP trade setup. And here it is, guys. All in. I am all in. Full port. My entire account in on this LPT trade, guys. Bullish divergence at... I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Warning. Warning. That was a joke. Do not take this trade. I am joking. This is not an actual setup. I was just making a joke off of what somebody said in the chat here. But I will say this. Hypothetical thing I would look for here on LPT. I'm not being sarcastic. Sometimes I am kind of sneaky, kind of with how I hint hey, I would be watching this, guys. This is not one of those times. But I will just say here on LPT, now if you guys don't know what this is basically it's a live streaming project, I guess you can call it. We can talk about it. I talk about this in the premium Discord. It's actually a pretty cool project. Basically to come after. It's basically like decentralized live streaming, which could be interesting for us. But anyway, who cares what it does? Because if we look at the chart, all we need is the chart to make the money, right? So, in the grand scheme of things, what I want to look at here, right? And the quick little lesson here, right? Volume profile from the bull market high here, right? Or the November, yeah. So you have your bull market from here, or just volume profile, not bull market. Value area sitting here, value area high at 39.90, and the POC sitting here at 19.12. Now, we've gone from the low, we've flipped the low to support, and we have broken above the high here. Not the high, the POC, right? And we're kind of consolidating above that POC, which, again, doesn't guarantee you're going to hold it as support, right? But what I do see here, potentially, is that you are within a local volume profile. You have slipped the low here slightly with what? Lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves, right? On your 3 hour, your 2 hour. Your 2 hour is really actually printing a bull div here, right? So the thought process for this trade. Now, I would not just blindly long a bullish divergence here, right? There's more that has to go into the analysis. It's not as easy as finding a bullish divergence at a value area low to look for a long. But I would look at the order flow. I would also, I'd be looking at the order flow for the most part to try to figure out what is going on within these candles. But, if we have money flow coming up here, 2 hour bull div
1 hour bull div confirmed. VWAP kind of flopping around here. So again, it's not like a perfect thing here, right? There's more analysis that has to be done. But I'll just give you this lead, right? Bull div on the 2 hour, printing as you deviate from the value area low. If you get back above this POC, in my opinion, again, after doing your own analysis and finding other reasons for price to come up, get above that POC value area low, could look for a move back up to the POC value area high right up here at about $23, $24, right? So again, not saying that this is an actual trade setup that you can take. You have to do more analysis. What is money flow doing on the lower time frames? What does the order flow look like? Are there other significant key levels within here that we've hit? These are things you have to ask yourself. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and hop off right here, and I'm going to go hit exo charts. I'm going to take a look at the liquidation heat maps, and I'm going to see if there is a setup to be taken here. But full disclosure, guys, I may do the analysis and not take this trade because it doesn't look good. But it does potentially look like you could potentially catch a scalp if you could find extra confirmations. But anyway, guys, there you go. With all that being said, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Again, don't take that trade. This is not financial advice. You will lose all your money if you take that trade without doing any further analysis. I am not entering that trade. Full disclosure. It was kind of for a joke, but then I kind of looked at LPT and I was like, it's like plausible analysis here. So there you go. With all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Same place, same time, 5:45. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out.